Alright, how y'all doing? See you out there, Angry Wing Gretzky, putting in times on the server. Thank you, sir. Like I said, I want to give everybody a chance to get super comfortable with the car and happy with the time that they're putting in before I change it up. But today, I'm just gonna do some explanations and some demonstrations locally on how I set everything up, and hopefully that'll help you guys. If you're having some questions or you're confused about some stuff. I know Racecar was having some trouble getting all of the overlays and the plugins and stuff under the screen so you could tell what the hell's going on with the car. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Let me see here. Anyway, in honor of EOD's Racing Club, which is a server that I set up through Emperor Hosting. We'll take a look at it here. I am going to go over how to set the game up and how to approach, like a track car combination that you're not familiar with at the same time. So let's take a look at our live timings and see what Wayne Gretzky was able to put in. He used the Time Attack Supra at 148.5. Very nice, very nice. I think that's about where my my other lap was before I reset the board. So good stuff, Wayne Gretzky. Keep getting it. This is Laguna Seca in Monterey, California. The cool thing about this, if you don't know, and I'll say it just for the video, is that when people are actually on the track, it will show their position on the track in real time. as they're driving around. This is just a time attack, a practice. It's not actually a race, so we're just hot lapping to see who can put in the fastest time. But it shows you here, this is the start-finish line, this purple thing. Then this is the end of Sector 1, is this little notch here. And this is the beginning, well no, this is the end of Sector 1, right? And then from here to here is Sector 2. And then from here out back to the finish line is Sector 3. So there is Angry Wayne Gretzky right there. He just logged into the server. If you take a lap or two, we should be able to see you drive around the course, which is super cool. I think it's super cool. I mean, you guys call me a geek if you want, but there he goes down the pit lane. That's cool stuff, man. But you know, this only costs about $7 a month, and I figured at some point maybe we could do like dollar buy-in tournaments or something, and that should cover the cost of the server. So for what you get for $7 a month, it's amazing. It keeps all the lap times. It'll manage standings in a tournament. I can set up a tournament that goes from place to place to place to place, from week to week to week to week, and it'll just automate it. Once I set it all up, it'll just, you know, Wednesday at 8 o'clock at night, the event will automatically switch over to the next one. So really cool stuff. Right now we have a few cars from the Japanese pack for Assetto Corsa, which is about $3 on Steam last I checked, and you get something like 7 or 8 cars, and they're mostly road going Japanese cars, but this Mazda MX-5 Cup is actually a race car with roll cage and slick tires and all that kind of good stuff. It's a bit more beastly than your average Miata, I'll say that, but it is technically still a Miata. Anyway, that's the coolness. Here, Gretzky's coming up on the corkscrew. Let's see if he can get it on his outlap without wrecking. Yep. Yep, there you go. Alright. Sector 2 time posted. That's cool, man. But another cool thing that happens is, if he wrecks, do I need to take notes? No, you don't need to take notes. If he wrecks, like a little explosion graphic will play where his car was when it wrecked. It's pretty funny. But anyway, that aside, there's the server. I'll drop this into the chat, and it should appear on the screen, I think. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so now that's embedded in the video. Oh, he's spinning. He's spinning. Apparently he didn't wreck though, because we didn't get our little explosion. Anyway, that is the server. Be sure to check that out. See if you're interested in posting a time. I will leave this at least until Wednesday, probably, where it's at. So come in and post a time. Compare how well you do against how well I've done and how well Gretzky's been doing. I did take a lap in all 3 cars. But anyway, okay, moving on. So I was thinking for our next one, we could probably do the Evora GTC, which is something that's included in the base game. You don't need any DLC or anything to run this car. And it's sort of a slow GT3 car. So it's 5-speed paddle gearbox. It does an automatic blip on the downshift for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Pretty square wheelbase, so it's pretty easy to drive. So I think this one should probably be our next one. But let me go ahead and fire this up in the game. We'll talk about the overlays and the plugins and stuff. So I am using Content Manager. I think Content Manager helps a lot. I'm pretty sure the free version will still give you everything relevant that Content Manager actually offers. That's important. So you can donate $1 if you like what the guy's doing. I did. You know, it's worth it. It's worth $1. It completely revamps the launching mechanism and all the UI and everything. So let's turn this down a little. Not that I'm going to be doing a whole lot of driving. Alright. This is all the stuff that I normally run. We'll just turn it all off. I'll just turn everything off. Turn that off. Okay. Now we have no UI whatsoever. And you get this little pop-up that represents your pit strategy. You can input as many as 3 different strategies, right? And the way I do this is with the D-pad on my what do you call it? on my steering wheel. So the D-pad will go up and down. I can change the pressures of each individual tire. I can tell the pit crew whether or not I want them to repair the body of the suspension or the engine, or no repairs at all. Repairs take a while, so that's something you need to consider if we're gonna be doing a race that's long enough to require pitting. And if we're gonna turn on damage, right now I'm running the race with no damage on, and generally that's what I do because it's just like the game doesn't actually visually represent damage very well, so I just leave it off. It's kind of useless. It doesn't do damage very well. Anyway, up here we can change the compound of the tires, soft, medium, hard, and that will change depending upon what car you're driving. And then obviously this is liters of fuel that you want to add. And like I said, you can do this for any one of 3 different strategies that you want to set up during the race. But let's pull out of the pits so we can get rid of that. And I can show you how I normally set up all of the plugins and stuff. So drive, drive, drive. All right, now we're out of the pits. So the car has a force virtual mirror here on the top. That's something that the server can enforce. And right now I think it does enforce this, just because you may not be able to see your side mirrors, which is what I normally use. Like I'll run 3 screens and then I can see those side mirrors just fine, and then I don't need this virtual mirror in the top. But the virtual mirror in the top's nice if you're going to be running on a single screen. So that's why I normally run that on the server. Anyway, we go over here, we just move the mouse over to the right hand edge of the screen, it will pop open this menu. And if you don't have anything, showing up on the screen, it will be blank. There's nothing in there. But there's this little button at the top, looks like 4 squares. You click that, that pops open all of the available overlay apps that you can add. Now, these are developer apps. You have to turn these on in the settings for the game. And a lot of this stuff is like diagnostic information that's not very helpful when you're racing. But it's helpful when you're like doing mods, or you're testing a mod. You want to see where the stresses are going and how everything's being balanced out and all that kind of stuff. But if we look up here, these are all the apps that come with the game by default. So Gears is one that I run, which is this guy right here. And it'll just show you what gear you're in and how fast you're going and where the car's RPMs are on the idle range, right? And it will turn red when you're supposed to shift. But this one's not very helpful to me though, because I use a different thing for that. If you don't, so that's a good one. If you need to change like your seat position, you do onboard settings, and you can move the seat forward, you can move the seat back, you can change the pitch of your head up or down. You can also change the field of view, which sort of broadens or tightens your field of view. You can also change your position in the seat, whether you're to the left, to the right, up or down. So I'll just reset that. This little Assetto Corsa logo is basically the off button. You can click that to get rid of anything. And what I generally run when I am doing this is laps. Laps will show me my current lap time, my best lap time, and the lap time that I last put in. It will also tell you how many laps remain in the event. Since this is a practice session, it's infinite number of laps. So I usually add that in there. Then, let's see, what else do we add? There's this, which is helpful if you don't have one of the plugins that I'm going to talk about. And this tells you the gear, the RPMs, how much fuel remains in the car, and how many laps are left in the race, and what your last lap was. It will also indicate when ABS or traction control are engaged on the car. If your car's starting to slip, this TC will light up, and if you're slamming on the brakes, then the ABS will light up and show you that the brakes are doing this, which means you're going to slow down slower, but it won't lock the brakes. That's the good thing about that, right? Then pedals is helpful for like streamers and stuff. That's just, I mean, it's obvious. It shows you what every single pedal is doing. Right. And also this 4th bar will tell you the amount of force feedback that's coming in through the steering wheel. At least it should. Yeah. So as I turn the car and we move forward, the amount of force feedback that I'm getting from the car is displayed by that 4th bar there. So that's all of the pedal information and stuff. This, like I say, this is mostly helpful if you're a streamer and you don't have like a pedal cam and you want people to be able to see what your feet are doing. But you don't necessarily need that. The performance delta. Okay, so this is helpful. This tells you how your current lap relates to your last lap. And if you're trying to eke out fractions of a second on a lap, you want this to constantly be green. That means you're doing better through that section of the track than you did last time. So this is helpful for drilling down lap times. Then our race position. This is another thing that I usually run over here in the top right corner, and that just that tells me, you know, where I'm at in the race and how much of the race is left in terms of time. Where I'm at in the leaderboard and how much time is left in the event. So this is called real time, and what this will show is a time delta between you and everybody else on the track, which is helpful if, like, you're racing with a bunch of people and you get into an incident and you're like, well, who was that just hit me, you sons of bitches? You take a look at your what do we call this? The real time, and it will show you who on the track is closest to you in front and who on the track is closest to you behind. So that's helpful for that. The second box down here will show lap times, whole lap times. So whoever crosses the line, their lap time will post here. As each person comes across the line, this little box will get updated with lap times. So you can see how you compare to other people on the course just by looking at those lap times as they pop up there. And I'll get everything set up the way I like it, and we'll go into a session where I have a bunch of people and we can see some of the stuff actually working. Anyway, beyond that, there's the map, which just shows you, the nearby area of the course and what it looks like. And then there's also a track description. This will tell you what the name of the turn is that you're standing on, or that you're driving through, right? Which is helpful if you want to tell people, on this turn, you want to be careful, stay on the inside, don't touch the outside. It'll just help you figure out what the names of the turns are. It's kind of a nice to have. It's not entirely necessary. But then there's tires. Tires are extremely helpful. Because one of the most important and impactful conditions of your car is the heat and the pressure of the tires. So this will tell you at the top, this is the temperature of the tire. And then these are different pressure readings from the outside, the middle, and the inside, I think, of the tire. Right? And then you have an overall pressure underneath that. This says 15 psi, and that says 22s. So I think they're actually filled up to 22 psi, or 22 psi would be the optimum temperature. When I get some heat into the tires, they should all read 22. Right now, they all read 15 because they're still cold. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, as the tire heats up over time, the air inside the tire will heat up and pressure will increase as a result of that. And so you have what's considered to be an ideal pressure that you're sort of shooting for. And the cars are automatically set up to be optimized for that already. But if you want to go through and start messing with tire pressures, tires is something you're going to have to be aware of for sure. So when I run it, I don't usually worry about the track description. I don't care. I'm not really worried about that. But the cool thing about the map is it shows me physically if there are other cars nearby. They'll show up as black dots on here. So I know if I'm coming up behind somebody real fast, or if somebody's coming up behind me real fast, that will show up down here in the map. That's one of the reasons why the map is helpful. Otherwise, you're gonna have to memorize the tracks in order to actually be good at this. But these three apps right here, Performance Delta, Tires, and Essentials, I combine into a modded app called Sidekick. So let's take a look at that. And I have Sidekick open over here somewhere. I think it's on this screen. Oh, no, it's over here. Okay. So these are a couple of modded apps that I like to use. Sidekick is the one that I'm talking about, though. So you can get this on Race Department, and I think you guys are going to have to register on Race Department in order to get Sidekick, but if that's too much of a pain in the ass, I can just give you the zip, because a lot of this game's kind of old. A lot of this stuff has not been updated recently at all. So this was last touched in 2016. So there's nothing new about it, really. But this is Sidekick, and the reason I like it is it's nice and compact and compresses everything down so that I can still see the onboard instruments for the dashboard in the car. Or if it's a Formula One car, all of that will be on the steering wheel itself. But I like to be able to see the onboard instruments. Sometimes those actually end up being the most accurate for you. So I think it's important to be able to still see those onboard instruments. That's why I like Sidekick. In order to use this, oh, that's cool. So random call sign does an install on this and how to use it. It's super easy. All you gotta do is download it and then you drop it into the appropriate folder. So where do I put racing games? I think I put racing games in here. Yeah, I do. So then there is this. It's either plugins. No, let me see. Plugins, mods. That's the shaders, lights, patch, right? And then there's content GUI, maybe? Let's see. What do we call this? Sidekick is what we call it. System message. Nope, it's not in here either, is it? Sure as hell is not. Crap, I thought for sure it would be in there. Okay, then maybe it's in plugins. No, we already looked at plugins. We already looked at mods. Extension. No. Damn it. I know that this is in here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. My apps. I bet that's it. Python. There's Crew Chief. Yeah, Crew Chief is an awesome one. There's Helio, Corsa, G-Meter, and Sidekick. So that's where you put it. Okay. You go to Assetto Corsa, apps, Python. That's where it goes. And there's Sidekick. There's Race Essentials. That's another one that I'm going to talk about. But then you just drop your Sidekick folder into the Python folder, and it then launch the game, okay? And it should show up here at the top. These are your apps. These are custom applications that I've installed that are all mods for the most part. And here's Sidekick. Boop. So Sidekick, like I said, combines a lot of information that we were getting from the other 3 apps that I had up here. On the right, you'll see tires. This is tire pressure right now. So if I hit that, that tells me the brake temperature. If I click it again, it tells me tire wear. So if I'm only interested in the condition of the tires, 100 is maximum, and then obviously it goes down over the race. Then temperature, and then pressure. So yeah. So let's go with pressure. That's the most helpful and important one, I think. Okay, so then over here, this is my personal best lap time on this car with this course, I think. So if we click that, that tells me this is the counter for this lap. Click again, that's the time that I put in last time around the track. And click it again, this is the best time this session. One more time, that's the personal best that's on file in the game. So let's go with best. That's usually the most relevant time to try and reference yourself from. This is a differential. So what this does is it tells me, for instance, if I do front, this will read how much time there is between me and the person in front of me, right? If we do back, that's how much time is in between me and the person behind me. If we do best, that's the differential between this current lap and my best lap this session, which I don't have a lap this session, so that's why everything's zeroed. If I do personal best, the same thing. It's the difference between this session, this lap, and my personal best that's on record. Right, and then we go front, back, best. So I usually leave that on best. This is a lap counter, so it tells me either my position on the track or which lap we're on. And this, what is this? Okay, this is fuel. So if we put this on laps remaining, it estimates that I'll have 29 laps worth of fuel on board the car. If we do it again, this is liters per lap. So that's a relative number that's not super helpful in my opinion. It just tells you how much fuel you're expending each lap. And then one more, this is how many laps are left. And this is liters remaining. That's what that is. That's liters remaining in the tank. That's the most useful if you ask me. Then over here are those same 4 gauges that represent the pedals. And then the amount of force feedback that we're getting. If you click this little 3 bars right here, it pops up with all of the different settings that you can change about Sidekick. I wouldn't even bother screwing with that, frankly. If I were you. You just come through here and click on each of these readouts and you can change them to be whatever you want them to be. Okay, so that's Sidekick. That's super helpful. It allows you to use the onboard instruments as well as whatever Sidekick can give you. So let's get rid of that. We don't need these anymore. And we don't need that, and we don't need that. Okay. So then if we come in here and we look for Race Essentials, this is another one. So this essentially does the same thing that Sidekick does, except it's a little easier to read, right? So that's right. That one I'm probably gonna have to give you the zip for, unless you want to go to Assetto Corsa's official forums. This is for the game, made by the developers. You're gonna have to register though in order to use it, in order to get into this stuff. So, like I said, I can provide the zip for this one, no problem. It's free. But again, this stuff hasn't been touched since 2017, so we're still working with old stuff. But this is essentially what Race Essentials is. Like I say, it's basically the same thing as Sidekick, except everything's a little bit more spread out, right? You can see here, this is the RPM gauge, right? If this car had a turbo, it would show me how much pressure is coming out of the turbo. This is my speed in miles per hour, because I've set the game up to use miles per hour. And then the gear, obviously. Lap time, this is last, best, personal best lap times all together. Temperature, I believe that this is the ambient temperature and then the temperature of the track surface. So 21 degrees C ambient, 28 degrees C track surface temperature. And these are my tires, right? This is condition, what do we call this? Temperature and then pressure. Yeah, condition, temperature, and pressure. All three readouts for all four tires. Then this is delta with my personal best. Again, that's how much time I'm behind or ahead of my personal best on record. Position in the race, the lap we're on, all the pedals, as usual. And then this is last. Okay, so then this is all fuel, right? Liters remaining, 29.7 liters. This is how many liters per lap. This is how many laps I'll get based on what's left in the track. And this is liters required to complete the race. That's a calculation it will estimate after you've done 2 laps in the car. Track percentage is the condition of the track. It's at 100% right now. I don't know what this is. Clock. That might be the time of day. That's probably what that is. It's time of day. Temp and pressure are all I need to know, says April. That looks like pressure for the tires. I'm not sure, but there's all kinds of good stuff in here. So basically, it's a matter of whether or not you want a little one or a big one, as to whether or not you want to use Race Essentials or Sidekick. And personally, Sidekick works better for me because, like I say, I want to be able to see the onboard instruments of the car. So that's just a personal preference for me. But Race Essentials is still really good. Other than that, I mean, none of this stuff is necessary. Except for Helio Corsa, or Hella Corsa. Okay, Hella Corsa is really, really, really helpful when there are other cars on the track. I usually drop this right here, right in the middle of the steering wheel. But what this does is when cars are nearby, they will show up like on radar on this little app, and that way you know exactly where and how far cars are from you as you're driving around the track. So you can do this. You can move to the outside, still make the turn, and not hit the guy that's next to you. So it's very, very helpful if we're going to do, group sessions. So definitely highly recommend Hella Corsa in addition to Sidekick. And then, all the other stuff you can pretty much handle with the default apps that are included in the game. So, and technically you can do all of the stuff that's in Sidekick with default apps in the game too, but I just like the way Sidekick does it. I'm used to it. What can I say? But alright, so this is actually a really cool track that they do Petit Le Mans at. This is Road Atlanta, which is, ironically enough, in Georgia, near Atlanta. But it's one of the coolest tracks in the world, if you ask me. I have a really good time here. But we do, their big event every year is the Petit Le Mans, which is a 12-hour race. But they start at like noon in the afternoon, and so it goes all through the night and then into most of the following morning. So it's a night-day race, which is really cool. Always like big races like that force drivers to compete in varying conditions. It's very interesting and cool, if you ask me. It's also a big multi-class race, so if this car were in that race, it would be in some of the slower classes. It would be a GT3 car. And prototypes would be coming around all the time and completely lapping you constantly. So that's something you'd have to worry about, is getting out of their way. But this is a good little car to drive, though. I highly recommend. It's pretty recoverable. You got to turn the traction control off. Otherwise, the traction control, if you start sliding, it will just dig you into a wall, which is annoying. But I almost always turn traction control off. Okay, let's go ahead and put some other drivers on the course, and then we'll see how like Helio Corsa and stuff sort of stack out. I'm gonna need another cup of coffee here in a minute. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a relatively short one. We'll just move this over to track day, and then the candidates, it will put the car you're driving in the potential candidates list. I say 15, all in the same car. So that means I'm gonna have 15 opponents all driving the same car. Over here, the opponent's strength. Just close this the second bracket. This is a variance, so different drivers will move in between 85 and what is this 89% or 81%. So it'll be like a range of difficulty. Just close that and move this down to about 80. That's what I would say. If you're starting out and you're not super confident in the game, move the opponent's strength down to 80. It'll be a lot easier to deal with them. Trust me. But I'm going to stick them up to 90 because I know pretty well what I'm doing. Now, opponent aggression, I wouldn't recommend putting this over 25%. Otherwise, they will flat take your ass out. So the game, the more aggressive the opponents are, the game cares less and less and less about contact, car-to-car contact. So if you turn this all the way down to 0, they will be paranoid about running into you and actively avoid making contact with your car. Which is not realistic, but it's 70s NASCAR at that point. Yeah, no shit. Speaking of which, I did find a Plymouth Superbird, like Richard Petty's old Plymouth Superbird NASCAR at one of the mod sites. I was thinking about putting that in there, but it's probably got shitty physics. I don't know. I'll have to test it first. Anyway, we'll put 15 cars out there, all in the Evora DTC. Same track. Let's try it out. Yeah, there's a lot of great cars in the modding community. That's another fantastic thing about this game, is that it's been around so long that there are just mods galore. There's thousands and thousands of mods at different websites all over the internet. So, and in theory, we could use any of those, but all right. So I'm gonna put softs on. I'm not gonna touch the tire pressures. We're gonna lower the amount of fuel in the car by half, and I'm gonna take traction control completely off. Now, this is a car that in real life would have traction control. And one of the ways you can tell that is that the traction control has multitude of settings. Oh, shit. It didn't... Okay, hold on. There. Does that fix it? Yeah, that fixes it. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Okay, so we'll go back over here. Use soft tires, leave the pressures alone, move the fuel down to 15 liters. That's half of how much fuel was in there. But if you look at the traction control, it has multitudes of settings. So I can crank the traction control way up, and the car probably won't hardly turn at all. And then I can turn the traction control completely off. Now, in a lot of mods, you'll have a traction control in an ABS setting, but it'll be on or off, on off. And that means that the game is sort of making up a potential traction control system that could work for that car. It's not very accurate, and it's not very tweakable. It's sort of just like bog standard run-of-the-mill road car traction control, and it's not very helpful for racing. So generally, if that's the case, definitely turn it the fuck off. But if you have a car like this, I'd recommend just turning it down. Just bring it down a couple of notches, maybe all the way down to 1, and see how the car feels to you at that point. It'll be recoverable, but not as recoverable as it would be if it were completely off. What I mean by that is when the car gets into a slide, the traction control wants to keep the wheels spinning at the rate that they're spinning at. And so that car would just continue to slide. It doesn't matter what you do. You can slam on the clutch, you can turn the wheel the other way. That car is going to continue right around until it hits the fucking wall because of the traction control. So you turn that traction control off, you get into a slide. Now you pop the clutch, correct the steering, and the car will respond and right itself. You'll lose a lot of speed, okay, but at least it doesn't throw the car into the wall. So that's why I say turn the damn traction control off. All right. So this car doesn't actually go fast enough for the aero to make a big difference. You're going to be going about 150 miles an hour. At that point, the rear wing is probably going to be helping to keep your back end down, but that's about it. Now, if it were a 180 mile an hour car, a little bit of front splitter might be helpful. But It's not. And then the diff, a lot of times I want my diff to be dead even. Dead ass even. Whatever it is. Whether it's 20% or 30% or 50%, I want that diff to be exactly the same when I'm on power as when I'm off power. So I would normally just bring this down to 40. So then now it's 40 no matter what. And that just helps response and getting the car to bite, getting the front end to bite. Because otherwise that diff is going to fight you. Trying to get the car to rotate. And then otherwise, yeah, that's it. On cars with roofs, anti-roll bar in the back is very important because it's got a lot of weight to throw around. But in an open wheel car, you probably don't want any ARB in the back at all. But since this is a regular old GT car, we're gonna leave some ARB on. What's up, Dobry? It's good to see you. Welcome in. All right, so let's take this out and we'll see how all this stuff works. I think I've given everybody plenty of opportunity to get out of the pits. Move this down a little bit, move that up a little bit, and I think I can change the scale of stuff. Yeah, there we go. We'll scale that down. Then we'll scale this down a bit. Maybe up a little bit. And then I can pin it. Like that. And then this one. And like that. I'm gonna move that down. Okay, now pin. Now those won't move. So I can do the same thing with the, this is what I would normally do with the, what is it called? The track description. So I'll do that with the track description. See, it's like way too big. So I will make it smaller. And then we'll pin it down here. And now we'll know what the names of the turns are as I come across them. Ooh, yeah. Hey, Chicken George, what's up, man? Just forgot my blacking password again. Well, that's okay. Hey, man, you're British, so maybe you'd be interested in this, but I did start up an Assetto Corsa server. That's kind of what we're talking about. I'm talking about how to set the game up, how to get all the apps going the way you want them to. And you see, you look down here in my real time, these are all the people that are on the track and where they are in relation to me. So that's really cool. And then these are the lap times that are coming in. 130s, yikes. I'm going to have to actually think about this. I was thinking about getting this game. It's super cheap, man. I think it's on sale right now. You can get like the game and all the DLCs together for like $60. So Forza is a bit much. This game's cheaper than Forza. So it's older, but it has a much broader modding community, which is one of the reasons I like it. You can get all kinds of stuff for free for this game. Anyway, there we go. That's one reason I like it. Another reason I like it is because it does a pretty good job of being a realistic racing game. So, another thing I wanted to talk about was, like, what do you do when you're not familiar with the car and you're not familiar with the track? The first thing is that you have to understand is that when you pull out of the pits, your tires are cold. Your brakes are cold. So this car is not going to be able to go very fast around this track compared to what it will be able to do once it's warmed up. So outlap doesn't matter, okay? Make this a sighting lap. All you want to do is just get to know the car and get to know the track. Try to mark down some landmarks like that bridge back there. Or for instance, this kink that's coming up here. You want to, like I say, you want to try to memorize the track. You want to know what's coming before you can see it. And then you want to try to sort of guess and realize, make sure you hit your braking zones. Don't put the car off the track. Even if you're going slow, as long as you're on pavement, those tires are getting hotter and those brakes are getting hotter. So keep it on the track for the outlap and then start pushing it. So now we just cranked over the lap. Now we can actually try to put in a time. So this isn't a car that I'm unfamiliar with. Oh, see, a little bit of clutch, correct it, and we're back. Otherwise, I would have ended up right in the wall right there. But you want to pay attention to elevation changes. Once the car goes over a crest, it's going to be lighter. And that's going to make it a lot easier to break free when you're going over a turn. So you definitely want to keep 4 tires on the ground and just get to know the track. Put in 3-4 laps, just getting to know the track. Then start pushing it. Start figuring out, okay, I came through here in 3rd gear last time. Maybe I can take it in 4th this time. Yep, probably. Probably could have gone faster than that. drop it to third, maybe second through here, just so we get a better exit. Because exit's going to be real important on this one because it's a big, long straight right here. There's that bridge again. Make sure just get to know the scenery, get to know the course, get to know the bends and the breaks and the hills and the dips. And like I say, try to get it in your mind that you know what's coming before you can even see it. And that way you can prepare the car for a good attack angle, and you can take that turn as quickly as humanly possible. Yeah, right here, I know that this turn continues over the crest of that hill, even though I can't see it. And right here, I know that there's a big turn coming up that's going to dip down, and I need to be in fourth probably to stop from sliding around like I did last time. And there we go. I'm a full second faster through here than I was last time. You see that little green number on Sidekick down in the middle of the screen? That's my diff between this lap and my last lap. So I'm already doing a whole lot better. And I can see I've got an opponent coming up. Yikes. A little bit of sliding on the braking there. I've got ABS turned on. I don't know why that happened. Down to fourth. Alright, that's good. Nope, too much. Little correction, we're okay. And again, if I had traction control on, that slide probably would have been too much. I wouldn't have been able to recover. So I highly recommend just turning traction control off and trying your damnedest from there. Oh, man. We're still half a second faster than I was last time around. Oh, shit. I just fucked up the lap time. Awesome. That's one thing. If you cut the course, the game will not count the lap. But I'm going to catch these fools. Oh, don't break there. Really? You can't. You're not supposed to break there. But you see Helio Corsa, right? Since I'm close to these guys, they showed up on the Helio Corsa app there. That tell me where I'm at. Sliding. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. So because of that slide, the red car almost caught me, but since I've kept all four wheels pointed in the right direction, I've managed to stay in front. And one good thing about this car and other GT3 cars in the game is you don't have to worry too much about downshifting in the middle of a turn because it'll blip for you. It'll automatically rev match and blip for you, and that should be perfect most of the time. But in other cars like sticks and cars that don't have auto blip, downshift in the middle of a turn is very ill-advised. You're going to end up changing the torque output of the rear tires and potentially putting the car into an unwanted spin. This is not good. That's not good. So carrying a higher gear through an apex is better than trying to downshift in the middle of the turn in a lot of cases. But ideally, you want to be in, the optimum gear before you touch that apex so that your exit is as strong as it possibly could be. And that's 0.3 of a second slower than I was last time. Or maybe 0.3 of a second slower than my best? Yeah. Okay, a little faster through there. See, it helps when you don't slide. I believe this is a third gear. And these guys are not fast enough. I should have turned them up higher. Now this guy's holding me up. This is not a good passing opportunity, but we do have a long straight right here where I can get in front of him. Pretty sure. Well, he's going to be on my inside for the turn. No, he's not. Okay, cool. And see, like I say, it's smarter to carry third through there than it was to shift to second, but I probably should have been in second. See, now you can see my diff on the straight here is pretty much dead nuts what it was last time. I'm not making much of an improvement, but a little bit of an improvement. I'm going to come down to third for this one. Oh, too much. Too much. Again, if the traction control was on, I wouldn't have been able to recover right there. That's what I mean by recoverability. then push, push, push. Here is the finish line right through here. I'm just flooring it. Like, they break through there. I don't. That's my best. 127.8. That'll do it. But then you can hit the clutch, and supposedly when I hit the e-brake, it should slide. But that didn't quite work very well. But damage is off, so potentially I could rejoin the track and stay in the race, but I'm about out of gas, so yeah, that's some quick bits about how to take a course that you're not super familiar with, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is like I was saying, this is one I highly recommend. This is a fun car to drive. It's a good time. Let me see here. Yeah. Oh, this is a cool thing that I didn't go over. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on. That was a ridiculous slide. Oh, man. Oh, that's something I didn't talk about either, was like all the cameras and replay mode and whatever. We'll go over that. But watch this. Watch this slide. This is wicked. It's going, it's going, it's going. Ah, no. Saved it. All right. Anyway. Okay, so the way I'm changing those cameras around is the F buttons. F1 puts you inside the car or attached to the car, right? So that's all the F1s. You just hit F1, 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 F1. It goes through all of those. And F2 is like a mixture between the onboards and the track cameras. F3 is strictly the track cameras. F4 doesn't do anything. I don't know why. F5 is this camera on the outside that you can sort of rotate around the car. If there's an incident or something during the race, this is usually the best perspective to look at what's happening nearby to your car as you're driving around. F6 is alternate onboard cameras. So these are like this, attached to the door, sitting in the passenger seat, on the dashboard, looking at the driver. I forgot that I had these. These are really cool for doing like streams and spectating and stuff. So it's sort of like the cameras that they would normally attach to the race cars during the race, you know, to get the car's perspective. But go back to F3. And then F7 is a free camera. Actually, if you hit F7, it lets you sort of just move the camera around the track, and you can pretty much put it wherever you want it. Zoom in and zoom out. We could just get a big overview of the whole course if you wanted. This is a good way to test if your mod is worth a crap or not. And come out to here and look around. It gets a little glitchy, but it's good stuff. Car games on PC are extremely good graphics wise. Yeah, this is something to bear in mind, is that this game came out in like 2013, so this is like a 10-year-old game. I know it doesn't look it, but I don't know much about cars. Bring back Ridge Racers. That's Chicken George. Oh, this is a fun game. It's a fun game to get into. And, you know, I'm not trying to develop a super competitive league or anything. We just want to get together and have a good time driving cars, you know? So it's a casual club. We're a casual racing club. That's what I'm trying to do. But like I say, it seems I'm a whole lot faster than most folks in the community, which is somewhat disappointing to me. You guys gotta get good. Get on my level, man. So that's why we're doing this. I want to go over everything and make sure everybody understands the basics of the car and the course and the UI and all of it. So I was trying to read chat right there. I ran off the course. But okay, so this is something I didn't go over, is these different desktops that you have. You can actually have completely different setups given one situation or another. And so desktop 1 is actually set up for my triple screen. So it's trying to move stuff over to the right, so it's all on the middle of the all in the middle screen. Desktop 2 is the one that I set up specifically for single screen, and then 3 is the one I just built with you guys. That's basically desktop 2 right now, but then 4 doesn't have anything on it. So my 3 I usually set up as the replay setup. So we'll take everything off, and I'll just add gears on there. That's what I normally like to have on the replay, just so you know how fast I'm going. Trying to build a community for this game. It sounds pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm just, you know, I wouldn't say that I'm trying to build a community for the game. I'm just trying to get the community that we have to participate. And a lot of people are interested. We've got at least half a dozen folks who are interested, so that's enough to do some races. The server will only support 8 people at once anyway, so But all right. Bam, bam, bam. Here we are. So there's the server, right? And right now we're at Laguna Seca with some Japanese cars, the RX-7, an MX-5, and a Supra. And yeah, all you got to do to join is just come here to this live timing site and click the join button, and it will give you a link made for Content Manager to pop you right into the server. Alternatively, you could search for EOD's Racing Club in the server list, but that's how you do that. Building a few little gaming communities is great. I wouldn't mind that for the Undisputed Boxing game or old Gears of War. Yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun. I don't have either of those games, though. I'm not huge into FPS myself. I used to be. Like back in the Halo days and Doom and Unreal Tournament. Like all that stuff was great, but... So... That's right. Gears of War was third-person perspective. Still, it's a shooter. But I did like the chainsaw attached to the machine gun. That shit's cool. You get to like that melee attack where you can saw your enemy in half, as long as you're close enough to him. That is super cool. As I recall, though, isn't that game like Xbox only? That's like an Xbox exclusive release. I thought, but. And yeah, I have a ridiculous collection of cars for this game, which most of these are free, which I'd be more than willing to share with everybody. But let's see, all told there's 315 different cars in here. Some of them are variations of the same car. For instance, this Z4 E89, there's a drift configuration. That step 1 means it's been tuned, and then there's just the stock street configuration. So it's not exactly 315 cars. It's something about 300, maybe 190, something like that. I mean, a ton of these are just mods that are great. Like this car is so cool. I realize it doesn't look like much. It looks like something out of the 30s or something, but this is a contemporary car, and it was built in the 2000s. And it's designed as a club car, right? That sort of mimics an open wheeler. It's not quite an open wheeler though. It's really fun to drive. I love this car. Then I've got like these. No, where'd they go? There it is. So I have these cars. I have a couple of these Need for Speed tournament cars that are basically all the cars you got in the original Need for Speed. I thought those would be cool, just because it's a classic throwback, you know. But Gears is out for PC and Xbox. Nice. But where are all of these? There should be a way to just drill these down. Yeah, there it is, right there. So there they are. So these are all of the Need for Speed tournament cars. I've got the original Viper, the C4 Corvette, Testarossa, the Diablo, and then the 911 993, which was the 911 they built in 1993, which goes along with these guys. So this car is not very good, honestly. I don't know how it even made the cut, but yeah, these are cool. These are cool cars. It's fun times. Let's take one of these. I was trying to drive this ACR the other day, quite unsuccessfully, I'll add. But we'll go to, let's go to Mid-Ohio with them. That'll be fun. All right. I wanted a Testarossa, but they take too long to save money, plus I can't drive. I mean, Grisky says, I worked on a few. Hard pass. Hard pass. It's a good-looking car, okay? But... Oh man, let's do custom. If we switch this to custom, we should be able to pick all the cars. Or better yet, we do random. Let's do random manual. Okay. There we go. So then we will add in the rest of the cars. The Testarossa is already there. We'll add in the Diablo and the Carrera. Okay. Then come in here and change this to 1. So you have 15 opponents total. They should just pick between these cars, I think. Let's see what happens. I'll leave it on 90% and 25%, and I'll go ahead and drive the black Testarossa. Why not? They are beautiful cars. They really are. I can't imagine anything that's, an Italian supercar being easy to work on. And they're cramming a V12 into the back of a tiny little roadster most of the time. But here, it's been a long time since I drove this car, so this is a good example of how to deal with a car you're unfamiliar with on a track that you don't necessarily know very well. And these are road-going cars, so there's not a lot that you can do to set them up or make them better. I'll go ahead and take traction control off. This is that traction control I was talking about, where the game sort of estimates it for you as either on or off. Definitely turn that off. And then we'll leave brakes at 100% and just take her out. Look at that fucking interior. Oh my god. But let's take a look at the car. And these cars are, these mods, I should say, are excellently done. The models are just perfect. And all the cars are balanced to sort of play well together, so that they may not be perfect representations of these cars in reality. Like in reality, the Testarossa is probably significantly faster than the C4 Corvette. But here in the game, they've been balanced so that they sort of race with each other around the same times and the same speed and the same power and everything. So, like I say, it may not be very, very good from a realism standpoint, but for gaming, it's great. So let me switch this over to my regular app layout setup here. In fact, I can move this up, can't I? Yeah, let's put that up there. We can move this up a little bit too. There we go. Okay. I mean, the Porsche 993 had a buddy pick one up from an auction, but it was a nightmare till the day it went to the next auction. Well, that surprises me. I would have figured the Germans could have got it right. But this is something interesting too. Is all of these cars are manual stick shifts, and so since I have an H shifter for my G27 over here, I have to use my H shifter and my clutch in order to get the gears to change. Which is cool, but not entirely necessary. If you don't have an H shifter, you can still use the paddles. I think you're going to have to use the clutch to shift gears, so that's kind of awkward. If you have a paddle shifter, you shouldn't have to use the clutch. But I think there is a setting in the game to turn on auto clutch, though. What's up, Mav? It's good to see you. Welcome in. I think there is a setting in the game to turn on auto clutch, so it'll clutch for you whenever you want to shift. But yeah, if you're not running an H shifter for these cars, I'd recommend auto clutch for sure. Anyway, let's take her out and see how we do. Again, this first out lap is just a sighting lap. I'm not trying to go fast. All I'm trying to do is get some heat into the tires, heat into the brakes, and get to know the course. Which I know this course pretty well. I've been here a million times, but oh, I should have turned off the chicane. That's okay. That's okay. These cars aren't super fast. Little slip there. Again, having traction control off means I can actually recover the vehicle. It's very helpful. Damn, all the way up to 7,900 RPMs. This fucking V12 right behind my seat. Brakes are not as good as I thought they would be. Okay, we made it. We made it. Again, cold brakes. Also, this is a street car. So the tires, the brakes, none of it's going to be nearly as responsive or grippy as a race car. But And that's something that took some practice for me too, was blipping on the downshift, using both feet and all three pedals. That's just something you're gonna have to practice. Foot's on the brake, and then I depress the clutch and shift the gear. And half of my foot reaches over to the gas in order to blip it. Okay, tires, you're gonna have to start cooperating. Oh man, I was trying not to do that. Come on. Shit. I let it go too far. Alright. Don't see anybody coming, so we should be okay. The guy behind me is 10 seconds back. That's down on the bottom right. That shows me exactly where everybody on the track is in relation to me. So I've still got a little bit of breathing room between me and that guy. Otherwise, I might have waited in the grass for them to pass so that I didn't screw up their racing line or their lap. Okay, now we're gonna have to start braking a little bit sooner than I thought. That's good. That might have been too soon, but oh, come on, car. Semi-slicks, I swear. I hate semi-slicks. Give me soft slicks. Let me put soft slicks on the car. Come on. But yeah, I mean, that, like I say, that just takes a little bit of practice. Being able to blip on the downshift with all three pedals and both feet. It's sort of like, I don't know, riding a bike. Once you figure out how to do it, it's super easy. But trying to figure it out in the first place is a pain in the fucking ass. And it's confusing. But we'll leave it in second. Should be fine. Gives us a stronger exit for this front straight. Ollie Cat, what's up? It's good to see you. Oh, come on now. All right, we recovered. I could probably put it in first through here, but a lot of times I like to avoid first, just because there's usually a huge torque differential between first and second gear. And if I can stay out of first, then I feel like torque and power application of the tires is a lot more consistent. So the car is less squirrely. Gotta come all the way down to second. Touch the inside. Alright, that's much better. That's much better. Tires are getting a little bit warm now. If you look at Sidekick, you can see all four tires are up to 30 psi. That's closer to optimum pressure. And so now the car is becoming much more compliant and responsive. When I push on the brakes, you should see those four temperatures change to, yeah, the temperature of the brake discs. That shows me that my front brakes are actually overheating now. If I could adjust the brake balance, I could compensate for that, but I don't think I can because this is a street car. So it's something I'm just going to have to live with. And that means as the front brakes overheat, they're going to become less and less effective. So I've got to lay off the brake in order to give them a chance to cool. And again, these guys are not nearly fast enough. I'm going to have to push my difficulty higher, I'm afraid. But I think there are two classes for the mod. And these Lambos are in the same class as this Testarossa. So they should be able to beat me. But the Viper is in Class B. And it's not going to be able to keep up, honestly. That's the Viper, the Vet, and the Porsche are all Class B. And the Testarossa and the Diablo are Class A. But these cars are still on Race Department. If you don't have a Race Department account, I highly recommend. I really do. Some of the best mods that are available for the game are distributed by Race Department. And the free ones, I mean. So, highly recommend. These cars are over there. Just look for Need for Speed Tournament or NFS Tournament. And you should see them split between two different downloads, the Class A download and the Class B download, which, again, the Testarossa and the Diablo are Class A, everything else is Class B. That's a pretty color for a Corvette. I'd hate to scratch his paint. You need to get out of my way, dude. There we go. A little bit of drift on the entry there. That's not too bad. You gotta remember though, like, this is a road racing game. You can drift in this game. A lot of people do all the time. But most of these events that I'm going to be setting up are road racing events. So the point is to keep all four tires going in the appropriate direction, not to slide around. Otherwise, you're going to end up going slower than you should. Because, shit, definitely stay off of that curb if we do this track. Do not touch that curb. That curb is way too tall. But, you son of a bitch. He's blocking me. Okay. Around the outside. Anyway, what is it? I fucking lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I've already put in a good time though. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope this helps, man. I'm gonna save the VOD and I'm gonna export this to YouTube so that it's available perpetually. Just for anybody who needs some help setting things up and getting to know the game. So, like I say, I hope this helps. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, definitely drop them into the Sim Racing channel of the Discord, and I'll be happy to help. Why are you hitting me? Sorry. Oh man. All right. I'll be more than happy to help and address any questions there. That way, everything's kind of all together. And yeah. So the server, like I say, right now is on some of the Japanese cars in the Japanese car pack. I'm gonna leave it there until Wednesday, I think. We'll leave it be. You guys have a chance to put in some times up there. I put in a time. It's at Laguna Seca. It's it's a Supra, an RX-7, and a Miata. And I put in a time with all three cars. Try to beat me. I dare you. And it's free to participate on the server. Although it does cost me a little bit of money. Not very much, though. And I plan to keep that running as long as I have enough money coming in from subs to cover it. So. Hey, thanks for the follow, Veranda AV. Welcome in, welcome in. So when you're playing online, you actually have to stop the car in order to go back to the pits. That's why I did that. But let's get some cool drive-by shots of that gorgeous Testarossa. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, definitely join the Discord. Ask people who joined to donate if they can. Said Chicken. Yeah, I was thinking that. Like I was saying that. As long as I've got the money coming in on subs to cover the cost of the server, I'll continue to do that. And it's only $7 a month, so I literally need like 2 subs. I've got something like 25 right now, so as long as that stays up, I don't mind paying for it. Okay, because to me, this is reinvesting the money back in the community. So, but when we start doing tournaments, when people start feeling confident enough to put in some competitive lap times, then we'll start doing tournaments, and then I think what I'll do is like $1 per entry into the tournament. And then at the end of the tournament, the winner gets the pot minus the hosting fee, just $7, right? We do like a 3-part or 4-part tournament, something like that. Different track, same cars every week or something like that. I think that might be cool. These might be good ones to go with. The Miata would be a good one to go with, but you're gonna have to pay for the Japanese car pack in order to use the Miata. There's also the Evora GTC car that I sort of started with this session here, which I think is a great one to learn with too. It's kind of a slower GT3 car, but really easy to get the hang of it. Square wheelbase, very recoverable. Yeah, Chicken Tour says $1 entry sounds fair. Yeah. And, you know, like I say, we'll cover the hosting cost. I don't necessarily need any of that money. The winner can take all of it. But I'd like to at least cover the hosting cost. That's all. And, you know, at the end of it, it'll be something like $20, $30. It's not really that big of a win of a pot. So, but I don't want no Jap cars, damn it. We nuked them for a reason, says Twisted. What's up, Twisted? Well, you were mad because we weren't using contemporary cars at one point. So this is why I suggest the Evora GTC. Right, that's a British car. So also, it's got a short little wheelbase, and it's a GT car with an automatic transmission, so it's really easy to drive. Alleycat says, I got to see a 288 GTO in a Testarossa back in 1988, live at a dealer. Nice. I was going to say, the 288 GTO is in the game. Which is a... Oh, I'm gonna have to end the session. But there is a 288 GTO in the game, which is a Ferrari 308 that was originally designed for Group B rally racing, right? And right as Ferrari finished developing the 288 GTO, FIA pulled Group B rally because people kept dying because they would allow spectators to line the course. And photographers and shit would go out in the middle of the damn racing course and take pictures of cars coming straight at them. And people kept getting run over. or somebody's car would wreck and kill like 30 people. So it was like, yeah, we can't do this anymore, fellas. This is not good. But really fucked Ferrari in the ass on that one. They spent millions of dollars developing this car, and then they finally get to the point where they're ready to put it out on the course, and it's like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that type of racing anymore. Probably be a $1 million car. I think it's probably a 7-figure car already, man, because it's pretty rare. Like I say, they didn't get a chance to actually deploy it, and so the only examples of a 288 GTO that exists were those that were developed specifically for the homologation rules of FIA Group B racing. So there's like 500 of them floating around in the world. It's already extremely rare car, but. Not a big pot, but let's be honest, even just $20 would make the competition more competitive, and all the shit talking would be great, said Chicken George. For sure, man. That's what I was thinking. At least there's something at stake. It doesn't have to be huge, but something. But I gotta figure out how to get into the server and all that stuff. He said something about a content manager. Don't know what the fuck that is, said Twisted. Okay, let's take a look. Because that's what this video is supposed to be about. That's what this whole streaming session is about, is trying to help people figure the game out and get involved. So, we'll take a look. This is Content Manager, this thing right here. And all it is, Twisted, is an alternate launch UI for Assetto Corsa. Assetto Corsa essentially exists as two different executables, two different programs. The one is the launcher, and the other is the actual game. So Content Manager replaces the launcher, but the actual game isn't any different at all. And replacing that launcher simply makes using the game and launching the game a little bit easier. So let me see here. This is not the correct place, I don't think. Let's look for Assetto Corsa Content Manager. Yeah, here it is. Alternative launcher. That's it. So this is it. That's where you go to get it. And it's free. It's free. So if you look down here, there are two versions of it, right? Light and full. Light version has restricted access to new features, work in progress sections, and pre-release builds. You don't need any of that stuff, okay? The bog standard features in the light version will be enough to handle everything we need to do, which means you'll be able to come here to the server and click this here join button, and it will just launch you straight into the server. So yeah, all you gotta do is download it and install it. If you give them $1, they will give you access to the new features, work in progress sections, and pre-release builds. But like I say, you don't need any of that stuff. But if you like what they're doing, you want to support them, they'll open the entire program for you. Now, one of the things that comes with with Content Manager is called Soul. Soul is a 24-hour day-night cycle for the game. It also includes new and improved weather patterns that allow you to do rain and different clouds, different types of cloudiness that the game just really isn't very good at from the start. But again, that's a nice to have. That's not entirely necessary. I'm not planning on doing any night races or anything like that. But if everybody gets Content Manager, we can do that. So, but this stuff is really cool. It's really helpful. I highly recommend everybody try it out because Content Manager makes launching the game and dealing with the initial UI of getting things set up and everything a lot easier. So I highly recommend Content Manager. But, hey, what's up, Z? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, I thought 90% would have been more challenging. But a lot of times this opponent strength depends a lot on a few different factors. The car itself, there's an AI line, like a line that the AI is shooting to follow in every single track. And when somebody builds a mod track, sometimes they don't do that AI line very well. So then your AI just sucks. And it doesn't matter what you do, it's always going to suck. But that could be the problem here. But AI is still a good way to practice, and I highly recommend everybody at least just jump out onto a track day and put some other cars out on the track so that you can you can figure out what it's like to drive in traffic, and you can compare yourself with somebody putting out some times, you know? So that's always helpful. And always push yourself, always try to, you know, improve. And it's easier to do that when there's competition than when you're just, you know, out there by yourself, racing against the clock. Another thing I'd recommend is if you're having a hard time putting in times, if you're having a hard time getting around the track, follow somebody. Put some AI out there and just stick to somebody's ass and don't even try to pass them. Just follow them around the track, see where they start braking, see where they start accelerating. Start to think about, okay, so here's where I might have an advantage that I can get around this person on the outside, or I can get around this person on the inside. And just experiment with that. Just follow somebody around is a good way to just familiarize yourself with the car, with the track, with everything. So I highly recommend that. Let's see here. I was going over some of these apps too, Twisted, that are really helpful. Like Helio Corsa shows you proximity to other people on the track that are near you. And then Sidekick shows you a bunch of useful information just right at your fingertips. And a pretty small UI that's very helpful, I think. And, you know, one of the problems with dealing with a game that's 10 years old is that so much stuff installed the Content Manager thingy. Awesome. So then you should be able to go here and just join the server, but you're not going to be able to because you need the Japanese car pack, which is it's like $3 on Steam, you know, but it's a bunch of great cars. The most helpful and useful of which is going to be the MX5 Cup car, which is this one, right? So it's a Miata with a roll cage and slick tires on it is essentially all it is. But it's a fun car to drive. $3, not even on sale. It's just $3, right? But these are all the cars you get. You know, R34, 370 Nismo, the Celica 86, which is an iconic drift car, the Supra Mark IV, RX-7, and then MX-5 road going and an MX-5 Cup car. But oh, see ya, Chicken George. Enjoy the seafront, man. Take some pictures. Just it says, does Toby Head and Eye Tracker work for this? For if I don't want to mess with VR? Yeah, I think so. I think Eye Tracker works with it. I don't know, though. I've never used Eye Tracker software, so I'm not sure exactly what you need to do to set that up, but I think an Eye Tracker will work with it. Although, again, that's not entirely necessary. I still don't have my debit card fixed till tomorrow. I gotta get the new card, so I'll have to wait till then. Okay. Okay. I can change the event, too. I mean, I can literally make this whatever. And one of the things I was talking about doing, Twisted, was setting up a new session using the the Evora GTC, which is it's a car that's included in the default game, so you don't have to do anything. You already have this car. But try out the Evora GTC, and like I say, it's kind of a slower GT3 car, but it's easy to drive. It's a good place to start if you don't have any of the DLCs. So that's what I would recommend. Start with the Evora GTC, take it around some of these Italian tracks that are included in the game, like Magione or Vallelunga. Magione or Vallelunga are two really good courses, I think, for some of the slower GT cars. There's also Mugello. Mugello's not bad, but it's got this huge long straight in the middle of it, so that gets kind of boring if your car doesn't go super fast. But give us a few options for cars. I played a lot of Forza Motorsport, so I'm not a newbie. Sure. Well, that's a good one. Let's see. There's also the 98T. If you really want a challenge, this car is way more powerful than it should be, but it's fun to drive. There's also the Exos 125. I believe this is included in the default game. That's more of a contemporary car. This is not actually an F1 car, though. This is a hobbyist track day car that's designed for millionaires. Which is funny. Top Gear did an episode about this one time. Let's see. What else is included in the default game? Is this AMG included? I think so. This Mercedes AMG GT3. This is a great one to sort of start with. There should be a Hurricane GT3. So basically, oh no, this one's part of the Dream Pack too. Never mind, that one doesn't work. But like, any of these that are, let me see here, default game, original game. Yeah, so okay, any of these that are GT cars, I highly recommend, right? GT3, the 458 GT2, definitely check that one out. There's a 211 GT4. That's cool. So this is like a little track day car with a roll cage that and slicks, I imagine, that we could take out. Which might be cool. Let's see, what else have we got? I'm a big fan of the Elise, but that's just because I think that's a pretty car. You see these step 2, step 1, stage 2. These are different levels of modding that has occurred to the car to improve its performance numbers. So they'll tune the car a little bit for you to make it more interesting, but not a lot changes. See what else we got in here. There's that's a road going GTR. I do not recommend the 427 Cobra. This is actually a pain in the ass to try and drive, but it's fun. Oh, the Tatus. If you're into open wheel cars, I highly recommend this. This is a slow little F4 car, but it's super tight and super fun. You can carry a lot of speed with the car, but it doesn't have a lot of power to put down. You're going to top out at about 120, 130 miles an hour in this car. It doesn't matter where you take it. But it will take turns a whole lot faster than any of those GT cars. So I have some DLC for AC. Dream Pack 1, 2, and 3. Nice. Okay, so then you have the Hurricane GT3. That's another good one, I think. And there's actually a road racing series in America that uses this car, which I think would be cool. So it's, these paint jobs that I've got actually come from that racing series. It's an IMSA, Lamborghini Club series, essentially. But those are fun to drive. You also have this, the SD, what is this? Scuderia Glickenhaus, which is technically an American car, but I don't know, it's confusing. That car has a confusing history, but this is a fun car. A lot of people swear by this car. I think it has a lot of understeer, which is not great because the nose is so huge, but I don't like that one. I don't know how to view all the DLC I have. Well, if you just installed Content Manager. So if you click on the garage in Content Manager, go to DLCs up here, and that will show you all the cars from all the DLCs that you have. I have almost all of the DLCs. There's only one DLC that I don't have, but almost all of them. The Ferrari includes this, but I think what was I saying? The 288, right, is included in the base game. I'm pretty sure. That's a 308 from a Group 5 pack that I have. Hold on a second, it's in here somewhere. I know it is. There it is, the GTO. The 288 GTO, this is just a gorgeous fucking car. I love this car. As far as like body styles and stuff go, This is my favorite car. Oh, there. Work. Ah, we got it to work. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is just a gorgeous car. It really is. I love it. I love it. But this is an 80s road going car. So it has shitty brakes and shitty tires, and it's really a pain in the ass to drive it. But it is a beautiful looking car. C7R. Yeah, there's a C7R too. Yes. That's actually a great car to start with too. Like I say, any of the GT cars, highly recommend. I love that C7 though. I've done a ton of races in this car, and I have some special paint jobs for it. Like these are the paint jobs that come with the game, but these were the ones that were actually on the car in 2017 or whatever. So love that. Gotta love the American flag right there. Love it. And a BMW M4. That one's hit or miss. I don't know. You can try it. It's kind of okay, but I think it's a little slow and a little boring. This car is fucking fantastic though. Where did they used to like to take these cars? VIR, I think, is what the test drivers liked a lot better than the Corvette test track that's in Bowling Green. C8, I didn't know they were racing those yet. Yeah, no, that's a mod. That's kind of a shitty mod, honestly, and I don't recommend it. Which is why I'm not going to look at it. But I wish there was a C8 in the game. I do too, but we haven't gotten that yet. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. If we can find a decent C8, I'm all about it. Let's do it. But the one that I have is a piece of garbage. I don't like it. Anyway, listen to that. Let's see if I can get it to fucking work here. No, still not working. What in the hell, man? I don't know. Sometimes this game's not very cooperative with fucking OBS. I'll tell you that. Let me try and restart here. Which was to see it. Put a couple of those cars we listed at Laguna Seca as the next setup. I don't know when you're swapping out the setup, but let me know so I can try it out a bit. For sure, man. Definitely try it out on your own too. But I can do that. I think Gretzky's the only one who's actually put down a lap time on the current loadout. But let me see if I can get this fucking thing to launch right. Hold on a minute. I mean, it's launching fine. It's just OBS isn't picking it up. I don't understand why. There we go. Will it work now? I don't know. Maybe. There we go. Now it works. Okay. So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to drop the tires down to the softs, reduce that, bring this down to 1, because this is a big V8 and it has a very large hood. And I'm not going to touch the diff. Let's take it like that. Switch this over to desktop 2. And I think we're ready to go. Oh, other way. Other way. Okay. Hopefully the game will let me disable those devices and only use the wheel, because if it won't, I'm kind of fucked. What devices? You mean all your flight sim stuff? That'd be funny. It's not too far off though. I mean, look, the steering wheel in a contemporary GT car is a lot like the yoke in a plane. But gonna need a tow. It's a Chevy. Says when it. Shut up, it want to hit. This car, I bet you $1 I can kick your ass with this car. It doesn't matter what you're driving. Oh, I lost my music. I was trying out some synthwave stuff because I thought that would be better for driving, but it was kind of very 80s-ish. This is a great track, though. I love this track. It's good fun. It's really fast too. It's got some really quick sections through it, like this one right here. I should be able to just blow through this, foot to the floor. But everything's still cold, so I'm gonna be a little cautious. Probably gotta bring it down to third for this, so we don't run off into the grass. And here's a double apex hairpin. 1, 2. And now we're on the back straight. And you can actually blow through that second pit lane right there without violating track limits, which is kind of funny. There we go. On this one, I always fuck this turn up. I never take it fast enough because I'm always scared I'm going to end up in the grass. But if I ever get past on this course, it's usually right there. Oh. Again, I'm driving with both feet. Feathering the brake as I'm pushing on the gas, trying to keep the speed up until I hear the tires give way. I'm shooting for anyway. Car's got a lot of grip though. There they go. There they go. Okay. And I remember I turned the traction control down a little bit, down to 1, so that it's not as heavy as it normally would be, but it should help to prevent the car from slipping out from under me. Yeah, like that, actually. Maybe I need a little bit more traction control. But too much traction control, and once the car starts slipping, it'll be unrecoverable, which is not helpful. Always remember to turn your traction control down a little bit. That'll help a lot, trust me. But I'll drop in this hot lap here, and then we'll take a look at moving the server around a little bit. Like I say, nobody's putting in any times except for Gretzky, so. And we can always go back. Also, the server will store results in perpetuity under the results section, so it's not like I'm erasing the stuff from the record. It's just moving into the results archive. There we go. Ah, that was slow. What does it mean? I'm 2 seconds behind what? My best, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, it's a good looking car though too. You notice the weather kind of is screwed up at the start, but then when Soul kicks in, it'll fix it. I can actually change the weather on the fly, which I thought was funny. Unnecessary. For instance, I can change the weather during the replay to something that it wasn't set on during the actual race. But Soul, S-O-L, like the star. It's a weather system that comes included with Content Manager. Oh, excuse me. So if you have Content Manager, you already have it. I'm pretty sure. It should include the custom shaders patch, which is what Soul depends on to change the weather and give you a 24-hour day-night cycle. So, like I said, we can turn on night racing and do that kind of stuff as long as everybody has Content Manager. And Soul is what allows that to happen. The star, S-O-L. Anyway, yoke rudder pedal stick, two throttles, mixture, trim wheel, radio panel, switch panel, MFDs, instrument panels, autopilot panel, mixture, power condition, prop setting, mini stick for radar controls, etc., etc. Well, Assetto Corsa is probably not going to have the firmware to engage most of that crap, but I wouldn't be surprised if it tried to use your yoke as a steering wheel, though. So that will be something you're going to have to figure out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have all that equipment to worry about. But should be able to change that in the settings. There's control settings in Content Manager that'll let you fix all that up. Oh, I put the wrong paint job on there. Shit. That's the default Assetto Corsa paint, not the actual paint job that they used on the actual cars. It is a good looking car, though. It's probably the best sounding V8 in the game, too. Which I don't know if you've ever seen these cars race, but they are exceptionally loud. They are a lot louder than any other GT car out there. As long as it lets me specifically assign devices, I should be okay. The issue is with games that try to auto-config. Well, every game's going to auto-config at first, but you should be able to fix that in the settings, just to make sure. Yeah, turned a little too soon there. Not sure how to get in your server to pound that Chevy into dirt. You can't pound the Chevy into dirt. You're going to lose one hit, okay? I'm just telling you right now. I'm just telling you, okay? Don't get your hopes up. This is the server. Oh, the password is communism sucks. So, communism sucks, all lowercase, all one word. That's the password. Sorry. Any car I want. Sure, you pick. You pick, and I will set it up. Let's see. I gotta find some more background music. 80s crime thriller soundtrack. That sounds cool. Let's do that. Oh, wait, no, here's a girl in a freaking racing outfit. Maybe that'll be more like driving music. I don't know. We'll see. Meh. I'm not impressed so far. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. Okay. Yeah. You tell me the track, you tell me the cars, one hit. We'll set it up that way. Right now, the only mod that's on the server is Circuit de la Sarthe, which is the track that they run 24 hours of Le Mans at. It's huge. It's like a 8 or 9 mile track. But me and the vet, okay. So Twisted has the vet. We'll include that. Chevy's gonna be up here. Yeah, C7. All right, there's the C7. What else? Include the Lambo and a Ferrari. Okay, we'll do the Ferrari 458 GT2. That's comparable to the Corvette. If it's in here, it doesn't look like it's in here. Where's my 458? There it is. 458 GT2. Okay. And then the Lambo. So that's an Aventador? Nope, that's a road-going car. Oh, come on. Lambo doesn't come up with anything, really? There. Hurricane GT3. Okay. Now that Hurricane's going to be slightly underpowered because it's spec'd for GT3. These two cars are spec'd for GT2, so they should be comparable. Just know that. SF15. That's a Formula One car, one hit. You at least have to pick a car that's in the same class. Of course, he would pick the contemporary 2015 F1 car as the car he wants to race me against. Like I said, it's got to be at least in the same class, dude. At least in the same class. So the 458 is in there. Let's consider that the Ferrari. What track do you want to go to? Okay, I tell you what, one hit. If you want an F1 car, then the one F1 car I'll let you use is the Lotus 98T. How does that sound? You want the Lotus 98T? There's a reason for this. I'll tell you afterward. I meant any car as in I will drive the same car as you and still be faster than you. That's what I meant. If you want to do that with SF15s, then we can do that. But I'm not going to handicap myself with a fucking GT car while you've got an F1. That's not fair. I'm going to make a pot of coffee. Let me know the track, and if you want, I'll let you drive the 98T. I'll race against that. Because I don't think you're going to be able to get that around the course. Shit, my bad. I was saying, if you want, I will race you in the 98T from the C7R. I will take the C7 and you can have the 98T if that's how you want to play it. If you really need that much of a fucking handicap. Otherwise, in the same car is what I meant. I will beat you in any car as long as we're in the same car. So if you want to do 787B, like we can do that. I'll add that into the mix. Why the hell not? But if you really need that much of a handicap, you want to take an F1 car against a GT car, then the 98T. Otherwise, we're in the same car. Okay. There are these GT1 cars in here too. Those are pretty fun. Kind of unruly though. My phone's going off. Let me go see what that is. That's probably my parents wanting to know if I'm coming out tonight. Went in chat room. What do you mean you went in the chat room? You mean the chat room on the server? I haven't changed the server yet, one head. You haven't told me where you want to go. You haven't decided on what kind of car you want to put out there. Oh, in Discord, okay. What's this? Oh. I don't care about that. Whose Discord did you go to? You didn't go to mine. Ah, there you are. What's that, man?
I went the wrong one.
Yeah.
That's too many tabs open. Hold on, let me turn the stream down. I don't need the echo. How do I find your server from Content Manager? I can't remember.
Search for EOD's Racing Club, or I will post the link in the chat. Yeah. There you go. There's the link to the interface, and then you just click on live timings, and from there you should be able to click the join button in the top left. But don't do it yet, okay? Because we're still setting things up. I'm trying to build.
I gotta go cut the grass, but I couldn't remember how to get in.
Oh well, that's how.
Sorry, I
Okay then.
I have to do that because I have worked all weekend and I haven't had a day off, and I got to get that done today.
I hear you. Yeah, but grass is a pain in the ass.
I want to know how to get in. Do you leave this set up then? Is this?
Yeah, no, this runs 24/7.
No, okay.
So.
And that's the link.
Yep.
So what do you just set up any track or?
Yeah, I can.
We didn't do it this way before.
No, we didn't. We were running it off of individuals. What do we call it? Their regular game instance, right? Like you'd run a server based off from your, your own personal setup. But this is remote hosted in a cloud platform, and they do a bunch of stat tracking. They'll keep all the results that occur in whatever event we do run. I can set up any type of event we want. It could be a track day. It could be a tournament. Right now, it's just a practice session. So we're just hot lapping, and it sets it up on a rotating 1 hour session. So every hour it'll refresh, but it will maintain all the results from each one of those sessions. So
do I need to bookmark this then, I assume?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Let me bookmark it, then I can find it. Might give me something to do in my spare time. So you're just going to set it up for hot laps or whatever, maybe?
Yeah, that's all it is right now. And right now, nobody's in there, no. But yeah.
No, that's fine.
Like I say, it'll run 24/7. So
you should let Gigster and Wobbly know there.
I did.
Okay.
We've been talking about it a lot in the sim racing channel inside the Discord here. All the details and everything are in there. Wobbly and Jigsaw are aware, and Race Car's been in there. Wobbly. Well, I don't think I've seen Wobbly in there. Twisted's been aware of it, but he hasn't been in there yet. And like I say, you're gonna have to have the Japanese pack in order to run this setup as it is right now. That's why
I have all the packs.
You have what?
I have all the packs. I have all the DLC for that.
Okay, cool. So you should be able to jump in right now if you want.
Yeah, there's nothing I don't have.
That's cool. There's only one that I'm missing.
I keep telling those other guys to get that Trans Am pack.
Oh, the 70s Trans Ams?
God,
Yeah.
that is an awesome freaking pack.
Those are great cars.
That is a lot of fun. I enjoy that more than I enjoy any other cars, to be truthful.
Yeah. Well,
Those are my favorite.
Twisted fucking complains because they're old cars. I don't want to drive old cars.
Cars are not. It's a shell. It's not really an old car.
Right.
It's a race car.
It is.
It wouldn't be much different than if you were to grab a new Trans Am car. There really wouldn't be a whole lot of difference between them.
No, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I'll go Vallelunga Classic, I guess, for these GT cars. That'll be fun. I'll set that up.
Yeah, if I didn't know where this was, and then the password is what you said it was.
Communism sucks.
And I wrote that down.
Yeah.
That was sucks, not suck. It's with an S. It sucks with an S.
Yeah, communism sucks.
I didn't write it down right. Okay, I wrote it down right. Yeah, if you leave that up, I'll pop in there from time to time and run some laps.
For sure, man.
I don't really have, like I said, I just got home from work and I got to get out there and run the lot. I got to run hot laps with the mower.
For sure.
Unfortunately. But you said any car in my defense. You were like, any car.
Yeah, as in we both drive the same car.
Oh, no. Any car means any car.
Yeah, as long as we're both in the same car, any car.
No. You want the Chevy.
If I'm in the Chevy, then you're in the Chevy. If you're in the 98T, then I'm in the 98T. If you're in the 787B, I'm in the 787B. That's what I fucking meant, okay?
Can you set up bots in a server? Can you have AI running on a track?
I don't think that that's possible with this. I think that you can do that if you set it up as a local server, but this server will not process the AI. No, I don't think so. That's part of why it's so cheap. So.
Yeah. It was. What about Assetto Corsa, the Competition? Does it have? I know you can have a server with it, can't you? I mean, they have regular servers.
I don't even have that game. Because it's essentially a Assetto Corsa with nothing but GT cars. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of that? I can race anything in Assetto Corsa, but in Competizione, all you get are GT cars.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying you get the ability to rent a server and have. They're all pretty much even. There's no runaway cars there. I mean, they're all pretty much the same car, really, just skins. I mean, there are subtle differences, but. Road Atlanta? Do America?
Those are mods, though. I can do that, but those are mods. I'm gonna have to upload the mod to the server, and I'll post it into the Sim Racing channel on the Discord.
Is Laguna Seca not in there?
Laguna is, yeah. We were just doing Laguna, though. But
oh, was that where you were on?
That's the one that we were at before. We can do that. We can do Laguna. I don't know what tracks it has. Yeah, it's basically these. Black Cat County is a free roam. That's fake. That's a drag strip. That's a parking lot where you can do drift. Highlands is a free roam that's based in Scotland, which is fake. And then there's Imola, Laguna Seca, Magione, Monza in the 60s, which
good.
They used to do there's an oval at Monza that they used to run in the 60s, which is kind of cool.
Is that the banked one?
Yeah, it's super banked. It's ridiculously banked.
Yeah.
And there's Mugello.
I'd rather run Monza.
There's Nürburgring. There's Silverstone, Spa. This is a hill climb in the Italian Alps, which is kind of cool. Then Vallelunga and...
You have that Targa Floria one?
And Zandvoort. No, I don't have Targa Floria.
I can't run it on my computer. It totally shits my computer.
Yeah.
The map is that big. The track
huge.
is that big.
Some of them are huge. There's one that's like a Shitoku Revival Project, which is basically like a highway system in fucking Tokyo.
Yeah. I watched people play it. It looked okay, but it wasn't for me. I'm not into that.
Okay, let's run it on Laguna then. We'll just do GTs at Laguna.
Yeah. Laguna's a good track. The corkscrew is the only thing that sucks. I'm not crazy about it.
Oh, I love that. That's part of what makes it an interesting track.
Well, that's what makes it what it is.
Yeah.
It's just not.
That and the Andretti hairpin here right at the beginning, the very first turn.
Yeah. No, I don't mind it. I'm fine with it. I don't. The corkscrew. That's if I'm going to lose it, that's where it is. That's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because I always misjudge that. I always come in way too hot.
It's an easy one to fuck up, that's for sure.
Oh my god, it's real easy to fuck up.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, it's switched to the GT cars. You guys can go ahead. Like I was saying though, this Lamborghini is going to be at a slight disadvantage because it's going to have a little less power than the other two. But the 458 and
can you do all the GT cars in one?
Yeah.
All GT3.
Yeah, that's a lot of cars though.
I don't know. I don't know what you can do with that.
You can do anything with it, man. Anything you can do with the regular game, you can do with this. So
I always thought that'd be interesting to see. I mean, there for a while, me and Gixxer were running the different cars and just trying to figure out what was faster in the classes.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of interesting.
We can do that, but there are certain cars in here that are part of DLCs that I want to make sure Twisted can get into it because I don't think he has any of the DLCs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, is that on sale right now? I think it might be on sale.
I think the packages. But...
Yeah, I think everything's on sale. Like, it would be dirt cheap. Because that game should be dirt cheap.
Yeah, it is. It's something like $15 or $30. But
yeah. They need to come out with a new one. I mean, they need a new version of this. It could be so much better.
Man, it's all up to the modders at this point. Kunos has abandoned it because they're focusing on competizione.
It's okay, but it's not. It's what you said. It's all one
class.
All one thing of cars, and that's it. I like variety. I mean, I like old cars more than anything because I like the unpredictability of them. I like, you don't really feel like you're on the ragged edge in a GT3 that often because you have so many controls that you could set up and keep yourself out of trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it almost kind of drives itself, so to speak.
Yeah, a lot of amateur drivers end up getting their start in GT3 because of that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, Twisted, it's all set up. It's ready to go. See if you can join the server. Let me make sure that this much of it works at least for you.
I can't see any of the prices because I got everything bought.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on sale or not. I thought it was.
Oh shit! I put it on 10-minute sessions. Yeah. I put it on 10-minute sessions. My bad. I'm gonna correct that and make it an hour-long session.
Yeah, if you're gonna practice. I'll watch here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go out and cut the grass. I don't want to drag my steering wheel down and get into that right now. Don't do that after I get the grass cut and come in on. I might hop on for a little bit and drive just to try it out, see what I think.
Well, I think Gretzky's in there right now, but okay, he left. All right, here we go. I'll restart the session. That should be hour-long sessions now. Yep, there it goes. All right. Cool. Well, go cut the grass. Then come in and put in some fucking lap times.
Well, I was drinking a coffee and relaxing because I just got in from work.
You work the night shift? No, it's Sunday.
I work the morning shift. It's 4 o'clock here.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any days off this week, so I'm kind of meh.
Gracie said I jumped out. Okay.
Charge up a little bit too, so I can have some music while I'm mowing.
Hell yeah. Alright, so now we're set up with those 3 GT cars, hour-long session, Laguna Seca. I'll leave this up for at least until Wednesday or so everybody can put in some times.
We were doing the Mazda Cup cars when we were doing this. Yeah. They're pretty good. I mean, Wobbly's really good with those. It might be able to talk them into putting a couple times down.
They're easy to understand. That's part of what we were running before was a couple of Japanese cars in the MX-5 Cups.
Sure.
I highly recommend those. Those are great
Yeah,
cars.
They're really nice. Yeah. You can really run them a lot harder than you think you can.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it.
I have a Dodge Monaco. It's a mod.
Yeah.
I ran that thing around the track. Oh my god! It's basically the Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers. Is what that car is. It's a freaking boat. It's hilarious. It's too bad they didn't have like a Crash Up Derby Wreck Fest mod that you could throw in there and put like cars like that in there and just beat them up.
Hell yeah. Well, like I say, man, we can do anything. So I can literally upload any mod to the server, and then that will be what the session is made up of. So. Oh man.
Well, I'd be really interested in the Trans Am cars if everybody can get squared away with them.
For sure.
I really do. I really like them cars. They're a lot of fun.
They are. I agree.
I think the closer you get to the raw car without the BS, the better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was saying, like one of the things I've been going over today is the fact that you've really got to kind of lower the traction control in the car in order to make it more recoverable. It helps a lot. How do I join, says Twisted. Oh, for shit's sake. Okay. So you go here. Twisted. You said you've got Content Manager, right? So all you got to do is go there to that website and then click this green join button up here in the upper left corner. And bing, bang, boom, you're on the server. Easy peasy.
Green join button. I'm looking for it now.
Yeah. Here, I'll share it in here. Oh wait, you know what? Let me just do the whole screen. Whole screen. This screen. Okay. So then all you got to do is click this green join button right here in the top left corner.
I'm still seeing the game, not the. That's what's on your screen, or on my screen here on Discord, or on OBS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, OBS.
You're not sure in the.
Okay.
I'm looking. I don't see. I see the Laguna Seca, USA, Chevrolet Corvette, Ferrari. Oh, how'd you get to that screen?
This is the site. I just put this link into the Twist chat. You just go to this link.
Yeah.
Look, Gretzky crashed right there. But yeah, you just click the link in the Twitch chat.
Okay, I was okay.
And this is the website that represents the server, and all the stats and everything are going to be here in this interface if you want to look at like different results and different types of mods that I've uploaded and championships that we're running if we're going to run any. The event calendar, I can actually schedule events out into the future. All that stuff is right here. And then, like I say, that join button should pop open a Content Manager link for you. It'll ask you, do you want to open this link with contentmanager.exe? You say yes. And it will pop it up right here. That's it. You just click the join button. I'm already on the server right now. That's why it's grayed out. But you just click the join button.
Clown penis driving around the track. I don't know.
Make sure you get the password in there. It's communism sucks. And then you should be able to join in. Did he join?
Oh, here, I'll join. I don't have anything hooked up, but I'm gonna see if I can get in.
Boom, chicka, boom, boom. Does that make sense, Twisted? It's super easy. That's why I recommend everybody get Content Manager. Content Manager makes it really easy.
Yeah, Content Manager is the way to go to play this game.
For sure.
It's waiting for. Well, there we go.
My gas pedal is reversed. That's not good. You might have to go through the configuration wizard in the setup. But oh, I see him there.
It's pulling me in.
Oh, he left. Oh well.
Looks like I got the Ferrari.
Yeah, I didn't tell it how many of each car to put in, but I can only have right now. All of it'll support is 8 people at once. So I don't know what configuration wizard. You go into settings, and there's a configuration wizard. Okay, hold on.
I have my gamepad hooked up, and it's not.
Go to.
It's not set up for my gamepad, so.
Go to settings up here in the top, Twisted, and then you go over to Assetto Corsa, and then you go down to controls, right? And then let's see here. Yeah, you just click to assign. So I would click this and then spin it around like that. There you go. If your gas pedal is reversed, then hit this invert button right here, and that should fix that. And make sure your gas pedal is properly assigned, brake pedal is properly assigned, clutch pedal is properly assigned. If you have a handbrake, assign that. Which I thought I did assign that to this button right here. It's not working. Okay, never mind. But if you look over here to the right side of the screen, it should show you all of your controls, and you should be able to see how far you can steer. My steering's set up to 900 degrees, I think. Then it'll show you your gas, pedal, brake. Make sure all that works. Then start pushing buttons. Make sure all those buttons pop up, and you can figure out what all buttons do what from that. So, this is a good place to just test everything. Make sure you're getting readings from all the buttons and all the pedals and the steering wheel. Make sure it's all working the way it should. Set up there on map because we're just reversed. Yeah, just click that invert button. I don't know how to fix it. All right. Go back in here. All right, everybody's on. Sweet. The default game has a wizard to sort of walk you through all of that and do it automatically, but it's not that difficult to set it up yourself.
Okay, no more going in there without a steering wheel. Bad juju.
Bad juju. Indeed. You know, the game definitely works better with a wheel than it does with a controller.
I don't have my. Yeah, I didn't even set mine up for the gamepad. It's no fun to play with a gamepad. It's way too twitchy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dumb the controls down a lot.
Right.
Yeah, gas pedal reverse is a common thing
broke.
For some odd reason.
Do what now? There we go. Fixed. Like I said, the game doesn't exactly get along with OBS super well.
Oh, I got that thing turned down. I can't hear your car. There we go.
Just a sighting lap. One really cool thing about the Vet, though, is that it has ABS and traction control indicators on the dashboard. You see these vertical lights to the left and the right of the steering wheel are actually what do you call it? The top part is red. That's the ABS, and the bottom part is blue. That's your traction control. The car starts to slip, you see the blue lights flicker, and then if the brakes lock up, you see the red lights flicker. Isn't that cool? I thought it's cool. But all right, let's see if I can put in a decent lap time here. it's a little sketchy on me. Streaming in the Discord is hurting my connection,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, pretty close to my personal best. So I'm gonna continue through and finish the lap if I don't screw it up. Kablam! 128 flat. That's the time to beat. So this is we're on board with Twisted right now.
Oh, this is Twisted.
Yeah. Oh, look out.
He's gonna want to fly. Pull back on the yoke, Twisted. You're not up enough.
That's pretty good. Boom. 136.8. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think I have just spent so much time in this game that it's going to be hard for any of you guys to catch me, honestly. I've spent way too much time in this game. So if we do the tournaments and stuff, I'll have to exclude myself from the standings or something.
You just handicapped yourself in the car.
I'll let you guys ride in contemporary F1 cars and I go drive a fucking go-kart.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, could figure out what car is slower and run the slower car.
Yeah, I could run a GT4 while you guys run GT3s. That would probably even the playing field considerably. But I think the only GT4s that are in the game are either DLC or mods. There's a good GT4 Janetta that's a mod that's really fun to drive. Got about 100 or 200 less horsepower than these cars though. These cars run about 500 horsepower.
It doesn't really say if they're DLC in the content manager. It just shows a Kuno's emblem here.
It'll say, if you look at the vendor or the brand, it'll say Kunos, and if it's a DLC in parenthesis, it'll have a link to the DLC page on Steam in parenthesis. So it'll be Dream Pack 1 or Japanese Trap Pack or Dream Pack 2 or 3 or whatever.
Supercars, I see.
Yeah. Also, there's a tab on the car selector that'll let you click, it'll say DLC. If you click that, it'll let you filter by each individual DLC or just the default content.
Most of the GT3s are content, aren't they? It's like the Audios.
Yeah. It should be mostly in the base game. Most of the GT3s are in the base game. There's a few that aren't though. There's like a second Mercedes AMG GT3 that's a little bit more contemporary. I think the one that's included in the default games like 2012 and the one that you can get through DLCs like 2015, 2016, something like that.
I'm just poking through the list right now.
The two GT2 cars and the C7 are all part of the base game, though. There's a Ferrari and a
GT2.
Right. There's the Ferrari, the Beamer, and the C7 are all your GT2 cars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could just figure out what car you need to drive to balance it a little better.
Sure.
I'm sure we can find something.
Yeah, like I say, I could put you guys in GT2s, and then I'll race a GT3 or a GT4. Or we could put you guys on GT3s. It'll be a greater variety of cars for you. And then I can run the GT4. Something like that. Yeah, that's traction control, Twisted. That's what happens when you have traction control. Oh, let's see how Gretzky's doing. He's off the track. Oh, shit. Whoops. Yeah, there's a lot of power in that car. Get her going at first and then give it some gas. You're gonna have to clean the tires off. That is a bitch. That is a bitch. Dealing with the cold tires and now they're dirty. That game is gonna make it super slippery. I have traction control. Yeah, the cars come set up with traction control. If you go into your little wrench here, you can turn that up or down. I put it on 1 for the vet. In that Hurricane, though, you can probably get away with just turning it off. Oof.
I think I have that. I think I have traction control and ABS linked to my steering wheel, so I can adjust it on the fly.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. Or brake balance, if you can assign that to certain keys. It's good to adjust brake balance mid-race once you get everything warmed up. Turn it towards the back a little ways. Yeah, that pit lane exit is a lot tighter than it seems like it should be, but... Ah, man. Let me see if I can catch Twisted.
This one doesn't have the Cadillac in it?
No, not by default. I have a mod for that, though.
I always liked that one.
Yeah, that Cadillac DPI. That is a sweet car. I've got the Corvette, the Daytona prototype Corvette that came before the Cadillac DPIs were out on the track. That's pretty cool, too. But that was 2015 or whatever. Mav, this is a redneck car. This is a Corvette. Let's see if I can just let Twisted come up from behind me here. Seconds away still. Oh, alright. I'm gonna come up behind him. Screwed that up. It's a super fun game. I think it's very interesting to go to tracks you've never seen before and drive cars you've never seen before. Fun times. All kinds of obscure mods for the game too. Like you were talking about, the old 60s Monaco.
One that has the old Spider in it too. Isn't there an old Porsche Spider?
A few. There's a 908 prototype car from Porsche. There's a couple of contemporary prototypes, but I don't know about any classic Porsches. I don't think so. Other than the 908. The 908's for like the 60s era prototype car.
Maybe I'm thinking of another game. Oh, I downloaded that. That's something from... Yeah, I have a Spider. I have a 550 Spider in here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a lot of fun. I like that car.
550. What year was that made?
1953.
Nice. So that's ancient.
Oh yeah. To me, the older the better with some of that stuff. It just
Sometimes. Cars start to get floppier and they stop in a longer distance the further back in time you go. There's some Maserati F1 cars from like the turn of the century that are just ridiculously hard to drive.
Yeah, there's some the old Lotuses too. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh shit.
They're awesome. I like them.
Type 49. That was like a 50s or a 60s F1 car.
Yeah, it's like a 4-cylinder Cosworth motor. Yeah. Well, I do have this old the SCR pack. It's old NASCARs.
Oh, nice. I think I've seen that before. I might have used that before.
Oh God, this old Roadrunner, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Monte Carlo.
yeah.
Matador.
What is that? The
Cyclone. Charger. Oh yeah.
the Trans Am Legend series. Assetto Corsa Legend Trans Ams. Those are
The
fucking
Trans
awesome.
Am ones, I like it a little better.
Those are awesome. I really do. We're definitely gonna set up at least one session at some point in the future with those. I'll probably have to. I'll want to upload some modded tracks for that though, because we either got to take those cars to Mosport or Road America at least once, or Mid Ohio. I'd love to take them to Mid Ohio too. That would be fun.
I think I have Road America on here already.
That was a tenth of a second faster than I was last time.
Yeah, I have the Road America track.
Or one.
I have most of it.
Yeah, who is it?
Anything interesting, I usually pick it up.
Little Siki is who made Road America, and what is it called? Watkins Glen. He did a great Watkins Glen too.
Yeah, that's who I have. That's yeah, Glenn. That's what we'd have to run to Glenn too.
For sure. We got to do the boot. You can't have Watkins Glen without the boot. I hate that about NASCAR. They won't take the boot. I hate it. Maybe they will this year. I don't know. Have they been to Watkins Glen this year? I don't know.
Yeah, I have that 73 Targa Floria, and this computer can't even play it.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Silverstone, 67 Silverstone. That'd be. It's not an American track, but it's a good track.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh International. When did I pick that one up? Oh, I like Donington Park too.
I've got Alton Park and Caldwell Park. Those are two short little tight British courses that I think are really fun. Brands Hatch, that's part of a DLC, I think.
Yeah, Brands Hatch I have. I can't believe that's DLC. You think that'd be included? That's like on every race game. Oh, Riverside. 1970s Riverside. Yeah, we'd have to race that one too.
Oh, for sure, with the Trans Ams, for sure, dude. That would be awesome. I love that track. That's a fun track. I can't believe they turned it into a fucking neighborhood.
The Trans Ams, on the backside there, they freaking bought them out. You run out of gears.
Yeah, easily. Because they're only 4 speeds. Yeah.
Yeah, they're only 4 speeds, so that you can't get enough. The dart, I was running a dart on that one, and the speedometer was coming back around. It was crazy.
That's funny. I bet that happens in real life too.
Well, it like jumped out of the dash and was coming down like past where it should have been. Like it was had a little glitch. Because you know the old Dodges had that great big sweeping speedometer.
Yeah. The lateral one or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit, that's how they used to do it, man.
Yeah. Headlight dimmer on the floor.
Oh.
Whoa! Yeah. I can empathize with that part of it.
Oh, that fucking corkscrew's a bitch sometimes, man. It really is.
Sometimes it's better just to be a little slow there.
For sure. that's one of the things I was trying to tell race cars. The first thing you got to do is keep the car on the track. Second concern is to pass me.
Well, if I really want to learn a track, what I find the best thing to do is drive it slow.
Right. Sighting lap. That's one of the things I was talking about early on in the session today.
Yep.
Because you're going to start cold, and when everything gets warmer, you're going to be able to go a whole lot faster anyway. So you may as well warm the car up with a couple of slow laps, familiarize yourself with the car, familiarize yourself with the tracks, with the turns, and then start pushing it once you get some heat in the tires and some heat in the brakes. Oh, I feel like I can take that faster. Stupid kink.
That's up here where I'm always, I brake early. I brake early and often through that corkscrew.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, too much. I'm okay. Now this is gonna be half a second faster. Yep. What I'm saying. She did not compete. Not fair.
You didn't win every race we raced in before.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, it.
No, you didn't. I won a couple.
You did. Well,
Digger will back me up on it.
I don't see your ass out here on the track putting in any laps. So.
Oh, not on that one. Not yet, no.
Oh, shit. I know you guys spent hours on this course with that fucking MX-5, though.
Mm-hmm. I know that track. I know that track well. That Corvette, it wouldn't take me long to figure it out. I've drove that car enough.
It's a good one. This is my favorite GT2 car in the game.
It's easiest to drive. I'll give you that. Isn't there a Mercedes in that class?
Not GT2, no. It's just the Ferrari, the Beamer, and the Vet. That's it. The Mercs are GT3s. There's two GT3 Mercs.
Yeah. Is there a Bentley in that class?
There's a Continental GT3, but again, not GT2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good times, though. Good times.
Where's everybody else at? I didn't get to see.
Oh. They're about 8 or 10 seconds off. Clown Penis put in one that was 130. That's getting close. That's within striking distance. Hey, what's up, Boomer Bob? What in the virtual racing fuck is going on here? We're trying out my server. This is my remote hosted Assetto Corsa server. Wayne Gretzky's out there right now trying to drive a vet and kind of failing, but but this is all on a server that I'm running. That's let's see here. Oh my goodness. My computer hates me right now. There we go. Right, I gotta turn this on. Yeah, so this is the website for the server. If you want to join Boomer Bob, you're more than welcome. Everybody is. But if you don't want to join, you can at least check out the live timings page and see where everybody's at on the course and what kind of laps we're putting in. But yeah. like Clown Penis just came back in with the Hurricane. Let's see if you can put down anything better than a 130. We'll see.
Oh, that's cool. I can look at the live timing speech. That's good.
Yeah, and there goes Twisted around the pit. He's about to hit the exit right here. I think that Discord is capturing this. Yeah, it is. And like I say, that pit exit is way tighter than it seems like it ought to be. It's a pain in the ass. Especially if you've got a pit in the middle of a race and you're trying to maintain your position. Ugh. You basically have to stop to take this fucking turn. I hate it.
You're better off not getting in a race.
Yeah, for most races, yeah, it's true.
Oh god, it's rape.
Unless you do like a 40 or a 50 lap race, that's not going to be necessary to pit. But... And that takes 2-3 hours, so that's not what we're gonna do. When we start doing races, it'll be, you know, something like 10 laps or something. It'll be relatively short. There he goes through the corkscrew. It's good. It's cool stuff though. But yeah,
the stored times with the different cars, is that all for this track?
Yeah, that's all for this track. So these are from the last session, the Toyota and the Mazdas, and but then these C7s and 458s are all gonna end up in from this session. Yeah, I was able to go around the track about 10-12 seconds faster, 15 seconds faster in a GT car than I was in that Time Attack Supra.
Does it, if you change the track to something else, and came back to this track, would it keep those
The results?
things, or would it go away?
Yeah, there's a results section right here. If you click up to the top, it says results, click on racing. All the session results are going to be stored here.
No matter where.
Yep, no matter what. So for the entire life of the server, all the results will be here. So. Uh-oh. What happened?
Oh, that's really cool. So you can pick any track.
Yeah.
And look at any track. If say we're racing somewhere next week and you wanted to see what somebody's times was for. Huh.
Yeah. Angry, Wayne Gretzky says, trying to figure out what the fuck I broke. I had it dialed in pretty good, but I'm just bouncing off the rev limiter like the clutch is slipping. That is weird. I don't know, man. Let me know if you get it figured out.
Yeah. Go, Clown Penis. Stand on it.
He just drove by on the track. That's cool. I do like this onboard stuff too. I think that's really cool. I can just ride around with you guys and not have to be racing.
Can you do that with anybody? Can anybody do that with anybody?
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. All you gotta do is go back to the pits, and it'll put you on the timings page, right? And then you just, or if you're on your setup, you click over to the timings, and then you can click on anybody's name, and it'll put you on board that car. And then you can click on the timings button again. That'll hide the timings, and then you can use the F buttons to change the camera. So that's F6 is all the alternative onboards. So we can be like a camera on the dashboard. So
Twisted, your high speed is better than EOD's. You just got to get the lap.
Actually, it's not, because it's a GT3 car. His high speed is going to be lower than mine.
It says top speed 141 on his, and yours is 139.
Yeah. Well, I mean the capability of the car. But we'll
No,
see.
I think that's what he did in the lap, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he did last lap. This lap was only 139.7.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he dropped.
But that's really not even important, frankly. The time matters, not the top speed.
Like, if you want to be technical, it does, but if you can keep it on the track, its speed is time. Miles per hour.
What might be a useful measure would be average speed over the course of the lap, but that's not what it's measuring. It's simply measuring the peak speed.
Average speed would definitely be a better measure, yeah. I don't disagree.
That was a 130.1, it looks like.
Krusky might be taking our advice of going slow and just learning the track, or just running off the track. Crash!
Gretzky says, I left and came back and it's just fine now. Maybe my setup is cooked. Could be. Let's see how he's doing. No, he's not moving.
Ooh. Yeah, that double apex there, that thing, that hairpin, yeah. That's a rough one. All I can tell you, Twisted, is smooth is fast.
I concur. Definitely usually faster, and allows you to make more consistent lap times too, which is important when you actually get into a race. The fastest lap you have it may not be good enough for me to actually beat you in a race because I might make a mistake and end up off the track, and then you steal the position. So now I've lost the race. But one thing that'll definitely help though is if you put soft tires on your car. You guys are running mediums right now. Try running the softs; they'll heat up faster. So 272, he says. Yep. Like I say, that's within striking distance. You're within striking distance for sure. So if we actually went ahead and did the race, you'd be the guy I'm worried about, not Gretzky. That's for damn sure. No. We'll see. Yeah, try putting softs on it and then take some gas out of it. Cut your gas in half. That'll help too. And then look at that traction control. Maybe turn the traction control down. Not off, but down. And keep pushing that down until it's off and see how it changes the behavior of the car through the turns. It'll bite faster. You'll be able to take turns faster, but you'll also be more likely of turning too far and sliding the ass end out from behind you. So.
Is he still running the Lambo?
Yeah, he likes the Lambo. He tried the Ferrari. He didn't like it. So.
Well, the Ferrari's hard.
Oh, it's been off, he says. All right, well, there you go. Well, yeah, then just cut your fuel in half. You don't need nearly as much as it puts on there by default. Put softs on it. That'll help.
I think the Lambo, I think I'd keep a little traction control on it. It's a little wiry.
Yeah, it does. But if he's been driving it without it already, he's already used to it. So.
Well, I like level 1, or at least level 1, I think, is what I normally put on it.
Yeah, that's what I was running that Corvette with. That works pretty well for me.
Knocks it down just enough that you're not gonna...
Right. You're not gonna go for a slide, for a ride off into the sand.
Well, if you like the rawness of the car, then,
Yeah. Like I say though, turning it down definitely helps the car bite, definitely helps it respond. So that's a good thing. If you can handle it without any traction control, go for it. I say that means you're probably going to end up being faster than me, who's having to rely on at least a little bit.
The yeah, I think it'd be easier to get the vet without the traction control than the Lamborghini. But
I don't know. I think the what do you call it? The torque curve is more even keel with the Lambo than it is with the Vet. It uses more of its gears, for instance. Like for the Vet, to use sixth gear, like the only track I've ever been able to do that on is like Le Mans with like the 5 mile Mulsanne straight, you know.
no,
But the Lambo, I'll push it into sixth around this track probably. I haven't driven it recently, but I think that's sixth. Oh, missed Apex a little late on the exit. That was good though. Maybe could have pushed a little further through there.
all right, I'm gonna go knock some grass down. I'm just gonna leave this on. I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. Well, like I say, the server runs 24/7, so whenever you get back, jump in the server. Oh, no! Wow. Yeah, that egg on the kink right there is a bitch. You definitely don't want to hit it. If you want to get close to it, but you don't want to hit it. It'll upset the car for sure. Yeah, you know, I think this paint job actually came out the year Blanc Pawn Watches started sponsoring FIA GT racing. So these are based on real cars, but they have to be careful about, you know, what do you call it, copyright infringement and all that. So it's not going to have the same sponsors on it. But it is a good looking car though. Gretzky's right in front of Twisty. Let's see if Twisty can catch him. Hexagons is April. Well, what do you want me to call the damn the bumpy thing there? The speed bump at the apex is on this track, just like there's at Vallelunga. It's red. It's that red bump thing. You definitely don't want to hit that, but you want to get close to it. There you go, that's better. Oh, still slipping on you a little, but that wasn't bad at all. Let's see if I can find some more tunage. Yow! Yow, yow, yow! Stop streaming into the Discord. Hopefully, it'll clean things up for me a little bit. But let's try this. What was that? 129. He's getting faster. 0.3 of a second faster this time. Nice. Alright, let me see what kind of time I put in with the Lambo. I haven't even driven the Lambo yet. My time's in the Corvette, so. I'll back out and come back in on the Lambo. See what we can do with that. And OBS is being stupid again. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna put on softs, take about half the fuel out of the car, and turn the traction control down. And that's all I'm gonna do. Alright. Well, already the car's a lot more slippy than the Vet. But I would expect it to be because it's a GT3 car. So it's not going to have the same sort of suspensions that the GT2s are going to have. I think we can take second through here. Yeah. Yep, Gretzky left. And might have shifted down to third through there. This one's definitely third. Came in at a little wide. Not bad though. I think I should be able to carry fourth through here. Yeah. Maybe need to go down to third on that one too. Downshifted a little early. Oh no. Okay, we managed to stay on according to the track boundaries. Although I think I was 4 off through there. There we go. I think I'm gonna hold second through here. Get a better exit, hopefully. 126, 127, 128. Almost as fast as the Vet. Not quite. I'm already half second faster this lap. Because I took the Andretti hairpin correctly. That's why they named it the Andretti hairpin. One Monterey Grand Prix, Andretti was driving F1 cars through here, and he won the race on that hairpin. So they named it Mario Andretti hairpin. Yeah, I could have stayed in fourth. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch. Mid-engine cars don't want to bite. I just lost it. I lost the whole half second on that last turn. Son of a bitch. Oh well. I could conceivably get a 28 flat. That's what I'm gonna say. That's gonna be my target in order to improve. But right now it's a 128.5, approximately. And that puts Twisted a second and a half from me, thereabouts. 1.4 seconds. Nice. Wayne Gretzky says, have to get some work done. Keep the rubber side down. For sure, man. Thanks for hanging out, Gretzky. It's good to see you, dude. That's super cool. You can... Oh, that ruined the lap right there. But I think that's super cool. You can see the brakes glow as they slow down for the braking zone. That's really cool. Like I say, that is a good looking car. For a GT car, it is very pretty. Anyway. Oh man, that is how to Assetto Corsa, essentially. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it there, and we'll look for somebody to raid out. But thank you all for hanging out and chilling with me. Stick around for the raid, please. I'm not sure who we're gonna raid to. It's like Wobbly is looking at another anime. We got Aircraft Sparky playing Shipyard Grave Simulator. And then Lecture Fan's doing Counter-Strike. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Wobbly? I guess that's where we'll go. It's more adult cartoons though, April. No, you're not a fan. Like he's gonna be playing something different here in a minute. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out. Be sure to check out the server. Check out the Sim Racing channel on the Discord. That's where we're putting all this stuff. I will save the VOD and we'll put this on. Yeah, we're raiding Wobbly. Oh, that's a tongue twister. But I will save the VOD. We'll get this onto the YouTube so that anybody can go back and reference the beginning of the stream to see the how-to stuff, and we go over apps and sighting laps and warm-up laps and all that kind of good stuff. So be sure to check out the VOD, check out the beginning, and then check out the Discord, get into the Sim Racing channel, and yeah, let's do some racing. Boogity, boogity, boogity. I'll see y'all later. You take her easy.